Hey everyone, how you doing? Joe Latender here. I'm here to talk to you today about 5 common questions that I get asked a lot by people just like you. Now, I have the YouTube channel here. I've had it since 2012, and I've been asked time and time again about pad underneath plank. Now, I also get this question asked a lot to me from people who belong to a site that I have called Laminate University, where people come, they join, I help them through their installation, they watch videos I have, I also help them through their installation with them asking questions, sharing pics, also drawings. I'll go through their installation completely with them. And some of the common questions that I get asked are what we're going to cover in this video today. But one of the biggest questions that I get asked, I feel like daily, is do I need to install a pad underneath my vinyl plank or underneath my laminate? And I also have a lot of videos out there, and I'll get comments. I probably got 4 this week about the pad, and then also, why didn't you use pad underneath that plank? Why did you use it under the other one in one of your other videos? Or somebody commented, this guy didn't use pad, like I'm an idiot or something, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, okay? Vinyl plank, especially now, it's really developed over the past few years. Laminate started this process, but then vinyl plank kind of followed, where you have an attached pad with a plank. Now, if you have an attached pad with your plank, you want to make sure that you do not install another pad. You don't want to have another pad. Now, I know you're probably thinking, but Joe, I want to have some extra cushion. Do you? This is a hard surface. Why would you want to have cushion under it? Yes, pad does bring a sound deadening feature to it, but I will tell you this, an attached pad to a plank really gives you good sound deadening. Now, if you checked and listened to a plank that you would walk on that didn't have an attached pad versus one that does, the one with the attached pad is going to outperform it. Now, the thickness of your vinyl plank is also going to come into play on sound deadening. So instead of trying to spend extra money on the pad, put that into the plank and get a little bit thicker of a plank. That's really going to help. Now, vinyl plank has a lot of weight to it, and it's flexible, so it kind of forms to the floor over a few months. Now, if you have some waves and dips in your floor, you'll notice that it will form to it. Now, I'm not saying lay over waves and dips, but sometimes you get into situations where you can't get rid of them all, and they're severe. And this will kind of form to it. And then it will get rid of those hollow spots that maybe you might walk on. But the biggest thing is, when you're going with a plank that has an attached pad, you don't want to use a pad because it's going to put stress. That's the biggest thing. It's going to put stress on these joints. When you put these joints together and you lock them together and you have extra cush, you're going to put stress on that every time you walk on it because you have extra cushion, which is why manufacturers state even vinyl, a cushioned vinyl, which really doesn't have much cushion. You can't really tell when you walk on it, but they don't warranty plank over cushioned vinyl, and that's the reason why. Now, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, this is a vinyl plank that has, so the groove is actually what's going to get weak. Maybe not so much the tongue, okay, but the groove. I mean, these things break off really easy, so you can see what I'm saying. If you put too much stress on that, you can break and crack these joints after a while, and then what's going to happen is you're going to have loose joints, okay? Planks will start to come apart, or if they don't, they'll maybe get hung up on each other. You'll start seeing gaps. The other thing is you're going to lose the waterproof factor of this, where if you spill something now, it could seep down underneath it, right? So there's a few reasons why I wouldn't do that. Now, here's a vinyl plank that has an attached pad that actually comes off pretty easy. And you can see that this is what the plank would look like then without a pad. Now, if you have a plank that does not have an attached pad, then put a pad. And if you do that, if you do have one that's like that, use a pad, a good pad. Don't get the cheap foamy stuff. This is a nice pad. It's made by Quiet Walk. I know Home Depot sells this too. It's got like a fiber horsehair type material to it. It's really a good sound deadening pad. And I'm not sure what the name brand is on that at Home Depot, but if I was going to recommend a pad to you, I would tell you to go with Quiet Walk. Not because they're paying me to say that, but because that's what I've used over the past 5 years, maybe a little bit more, and I've tried so many others. It's just a really good pad. So I hope that that helps you understand why you don't want to use another pad. Now let's talk about something else that I get asked all the time. Okay, you're installing plank in your bathroom. What are you going to do with the vanity? Now there's so many vanities out there nowadays that are on legs, or even the front will be on legs, but the back still won't. What do you do with those vanities? Can you install that over the top of plank? Well, if it has legs, yes, you can. If it doesn't, most manufacturers are going to tell you not to do that. Now, if you have a vanity, most of the time you're going to screw it to the floor somehow, right? Attach it to the floor. But if you have a vanity that you're not going to do that with, and it's on, 4 legs, or you can be the judge on that. But I'm going to tell you that what they say in most warranties is that vanities with legs, you can stick right over the top of the plank. Never screw through the vanity, through the plank into the floor, okay? Just don't do that. Now, that brings me to the toilet. Now, I get asked all the time, Joe, can I install plank underneath my toilet? Yes. And what you're going to do is you're going to install around the flange. You're going to leave a 1/4-inch gap around that flange. If you feel like you want to get it a little more secure or waterproofed around there, you can certainly run a bead of clear silicone to fill in that gap. And then you just mount your toilet right back down on top of the plank. Now, I would put a bead, and I'm not a plumber, but I'm just telling you what I would do. I'd put a bead of caulk around the toilet. So when you're mounting it, you want that toilet to be in there firm, but I wouldn't crank it down so tight anyway. You're not supposed to do that anyway. You got to get it firmly in there, but don't over crank those bolts. You don't want to break the toilet anyway. But also add some caulk around it so that it gives your toilet a little more firmness to it, a little more stability. Okay, so now let's move on to the kitchen area. The next thing I get asked all the time is, well, can I install my plank first and then my cabinets? Can my cabinet sit on top of my vinyl plank or laminate? No, it can't. It can't, guys. I'd love to tell you that you could do that, but what I will tell you is that you can install all of your plank first, because a lot of you who are doing this have new houses that you're building. You've totally gut out maybe an old house and you're rebuilding. You want to get that plank in. Well, go ahead and install it. And then when the cabinets come, you just set them in place, you mark them out where they're going to go, and you can cut it with an oscillating saw or a circular saw, making sure you don't cut through the subfloor, obviously. If you want to do that, if it makes it easier for you, sure, you can do that, but don't mount the cabinets on top of your floor. You're going to have some issues, especially if it's laminate. Now, I will tell you, vinyl plank is the most forgiving floor that we've been blessed with to this point in the flooring industry as far as plank goes, okay? It hardly expands and contracts, barely at all. As a matter of fact, Home Renovation over on another channel just did a really good video on it where he threw a piece inside an oven. He threw a piece outside in the snow. I think it was for a half hour. Maybe it was a little longer than that, or a little less than that. He brought both those pieces back in the house with a piece that was in the house at room temperature and checked to see if any of them grew or shrank. And it was barely at all. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link here. You can go and check that video out. It's really a good video to go and watch to really see how vinyl plank is a really rigid product to use inside your house. Okay, so the final thing that I want to talk to you about is your fridge, your stove, your appliances, things like that. The dishwasher. Can you install your plank underneath those things? Yes, you can. Now, I know the fridge is heavy, but it's not bolted to the floor. And you can absolutely slide your fridge on top of your plank and not have to worry about it. Same with the stove. I would recommend that you do run your plank under those things so that you get a nicer finish. It's going to look nice because when you can see around the sides of that, you're going to want to have it look finished, right? Plus, if you get spills on the floor, you don't want it to run under the fridge and then get under the floor. Same with the stove. It gets messy in those areas. Yeah, pull that out, install underneath. Now, as far as a dishwasher goes, you don't have to install underneath a dishwasher. If you want to, you can. Okay? But you can install right up to the legs. A lot of times I'll screw the legs up, I'll slide the plank under just the front of the legs, and then I'll bring those back down. And that's usually what I do when we have an existing dishwasher in place when I go to an installation. If I was gonna get a brand new one, I would install the plank first and then put the dishwasher back in. And keep in mind, when you're doing your plank job, this is the best time possible. That if you are thinking that sometime in the future you want to get a new dishwasher, this is the time, guys. Do it now while you're doing this plank installation. It's gonna be the time to do it. That's all I can say. And it's gonna be nice to run that plank all the way back and not have that dishwasher in your way. I hope that some of these things that I shared with you answer your questions. And again, these are questions that I get asked all the time. I'm gonna do another video like this on more common questions because there are so many. So be looking for those videos. I just want to say thank you for watching my videos. Go check out some more. I've got plenty on my channel that'll help you through your vinyl plank and laminate installation. And I also want to just tell you or pray for you. I pray that your day is blessed, that your family is blessed, that God showers you guys with his grace. I pray for that. I also pray for your projects to go well and problem free. I pray for these things in Jesus' name. Hey, God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell if you want to be notified. I appreciate you. Leave a comment below and I'll surely answer it. Again, God bless you. I'm Joe Latender. Have a great day.